Renaissance Union, all is well and all is in divine order. Cindy, thank you for that perfectly timed song, Love to Help. And I like the lyrics, hey, I'm talking to you. Do you ever think that you're alone? If so, I'll be right there waiting. And when you're just not feeling like yourself, don't you know that I would love to help? I would love to help. Spirit is talking to us saying, I would love to help. Now, we've been focused on absolute love, and today we want to focus on absolute love within the context of home, H-O-M-E. Now, this is not the Wizard of Oz and Dorothy tapping her heels together and saying, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. But what we are driving home is the spiritual truth of home as the spiritual place of absolute love. And absolute love is the truth that we are eternally loved. You got to know that you're eternally loved. We come from love, and we can always return to love. Keep that phrase, return to love, in mind. It matters. Say it, return to love. Absolute love positions us to experience expectancy as a way of life. Expectancy. Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote that expectancy speeds progress. Therefore, live in a continual state of expectancy. No matter how much good or how much bad you are experiencing today, greater good is coming tomorrow. And greater good is coming the next day. Question for you. Have you ever gotten tired of praying and waiting for the miracle to arrive? I mean, you pray your daily prayer or you meditate for miracles, then you wait for the miracle to be delivered at your doorstep. You wait, and you wait, and you wait. Then you have a conversation with self and you say, I can't wait anymore. I can't wait on Christ. I can't wait on God. I got to do it myself. Now, let me tell you something. To be absent from the Spirit of the Christ is to create an arc away from the spiritual path of Christ that you are purposed and destined to follow. Hear me out on that one. That arc is so important. Now I have a question for you. Is your commitment to convenience killing your desire to live by spiritual principles and spiritual practices that would allow your inner self, your purpose, and your perfection to shine? Commitment to convenience. Think it, click it, have it. Think it, click it, have it. I was sitting in a marketing and advertising meeting for my full-time job, and I was surrounded by marketing and advertising experts, and they were explaining to me about our internet commercials. They said we had 5 seconds to capture the attention of those who visit our website. And if we don't capture their attention, 50% would leave after that 5 seconds. And then we had an additional 3 to 5 seconds to grab the remaining 50%. Instant gratification. Think it, click it, have it. More and more we're living in a culture of convenience. Have it in a minute. Get it in a minute. The faster, the better. No wait time required. We must have high-speed internet, Wi-Fi, must be able to Google it within seconds. Entertainment on demand, Netflix, Hulu, cell phones with 4G and now 5G, text messaging, instant messaging. That's our life. Uber Eats, you don't have to go get it. Amazon Prime, shipping in 2 days. And if 2 days is too long, wait a minute. We have Amazon Now, same day shipping, apps, Zoom, Google Meets, and you're likely watching this service on Facebook Live. And I'm glad you are. Online grocery shopping, online banking, everything about convenience. Telehealth, telecounseling, convenience. Now convenience has its place. Don't think I'm anti-technology, anti-enhancements to our life experience. But convenience can cripple the conscious awareness and practice of spiritual principles, which requires patience and work. Say that, patience and work. Cast the vision, put it in the energy flow of the universe, and go on the journey to uncover and discover you. The vision, the energy flow, the journey requiring practicing faith while on the journey. See, think it, click it, have it does not work in the spiritual practice of casting the vision, putting it in the energy flow of the universe, and going on the journey to uncover and discover the promise that is you. I have worn several wristbands for several years to remind me of God's plan that comes through a process of going on the journey of life and understanding progress comes through persistence, practice of spiritual principles on the spiritual pathway of life. The wristband reminds me, whenever I read it, how powerful the walk is. It says, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, declares the Lord, plans not to harm you. So, okay, I am created by God. God has a plan for me. God's plan is to prosper me. Are you sure? It's always our next question. The answer is yes, it's the truth. Now, here's a lesson for you about God's plans, God's provisions, God's promises, including access to the miracles that you pray about. God's plans, provisions, promises, and your prayers require only one payment, and that's the payment of patience and work. Patience and work. Now, why didn't I say faith in that formula? The test to demonstrate faith, great faith, is patience. And patience does not mean to do nothing during the patiently waiting time. Patience and working while you wait. Being a spiritual being, having a human experience means experiencing anything that you want. But it requires that you go through the open door, which is called the journey of life. This is like the sign that you see when you're approaching an amusement park. This way to the journey and excitement of a lifetime. Our lives, our journeys of excitement. The good, the bad, the highs, the lows, the ups and downs, the things that make us cry and frown and smile. But this need for patience and work to experience the plans, the promises, the provisions, and miracles of your prayers get interrupted by what? Tension. There is tension between spiritual practices and the instant gratification world. The old Burger King slogan commercial said, have it your way. Just drive around the corner and pick it up. The tension created by spiritual principles and practices versus instant gratification. The pandemic was trying to teach us patience and work. But for many, we learn convenience of instant and stay in place. Isolation. It's okay. But work was necessary. Reverend Brett, Reverend Nisha, Reverend Wilma, and I have been consistently furnishing you with the 8 mastermind principles that Jack Boland taught. I surrender. I believe. I'm ready to be changed. I decided to be changed. I forgive. I ask. I give thanks. I dedicate my life. And because of these 8 principles, when followed, I am at peace. If you have not gotten your mastermind journal by now, come on, get it. Get it. I know the system worked because I've been following the mastermind principles for over 20 years, manifesting the life of my dreams from years ago. You need principles. You need to practice principles. You need to work the principles that patience leads to your promise. Follow the principles. They work if you work them. Reverend Johnny Coleman used to say that. They work if you work them. What's the other saying? The only place success comes before work is in the dictionary. Listen to that. Patience and work go hand in hand. We're about to conclude Black History Month. But Black History Month is created every day. history is made. But in the midst of the pandemic, which I hope is moving to an endemic, in the midst of what is shaping up to be a battle between the United States and Russia about the Ukraine, and in the battle between application of spiritual principles versus instant gratification, all these battles create tension. Tension. Dr. Martin Luther King talked about an ark, not Noah's ark, but an ark. An ark, a road that bends outward, away from the center, away from the main source. We live our lives in arcs. How so, Reverend Glenn? Well, we walk the spiritual path, we get off the spiritual path. And each time we get off that spiritual path, we create an arc away from source, the distance that's created. Martin Luther King talked about an arc, a moral arc. A moral arc is not just conscious. It's not just a voice telling us right and wrong and to do right. A moral arc also places us in the position of knowing that there is no place, no comfort, no place of care like home. Heaven, the place where source is. Home is present with source, connected with source. That bending arc is supposed to consistently shift us back to the Christ Spirit and always have us focus on the truth that there is no place like home. Home is supposed to be where the heart is. Home is the place of absolute love. And we experience that absolute love when we're one, unified with the Christ within us. If you think there is no place like home refers to people, you're mistaken. No place like home is a place, a sphere, a connection, a synchronization, unity, collaboration, ministry with the mastermind, Christ, God. Mind over matter. Say this with me. Mind over matter. You got it? Mind over matter. Mind over matter. Mastermind principles. Let's go deeper. God's promises, God's provisions, the pathway to the journey of your life. Mind over matter. The lesson. No matter what, nothing matters more than you, your mind, experiencing and expanding on the journey. See, those worldly things that you think matter, they pass. They pass if you're moving on the journey of life. It's like a moving car. All the things you pass along the journey, the problem, the pain, they become milestones, history along the pathway to the promise. Change your mind. Change what matters. What matters is the absolute love found at home with your unification and collaboration with the Almighty Christ within, the temple, the house of you. There really is no place like the heavenly home filled with the Christ Spirit. Don't put your faith in people who could be neophytes, new on the spiritual journey. They will get off the path and disappoint you, just like we get off the path. All of us do. I do too. I occasionally veer off the path, and I know I should be going straight. Put your trust in the mastermind God and know that Christ, that Spirit, lives within you. The get-rich-quick schemes, get fame now, get the relationships now. God promises, come. Remember, early in the message, I said, keep the phrase, return to love in mind. It matters. When we return to love, we come to the home and know that Luke 12:32 says, it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. And in the kingdom is absolute love. It's the home where love is found. Trust me, the kingdom of the home of Christ is the space of all potentiality, all substance, all life, all peace, and all love. Be patient. Jesus said, do not be anxious about your life, but seek the kingdom as home, and all things shall be yours as well. This means all conditions are temporary. They're episodic pauses or arcs, adventures of your soul. Your current conditions only represent your thinking and your beliefs of now. They are fluid, like water in a river, an ocean, a lake. So they change every time you allow new thought in. Say this affirmation with me. I am not the condition of my life. I am the creator of all those conditions. So I have the power to make new conditions. I return home to find, to experience absolute love, power, dominion, authority. Renaissance Unity, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. So please, love me back and love everyone that's along your spiritual journey. Amen.